What's going on YouTube? It's Brandon Lechuga here. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Wearing the green today, as you can see. Thought I'd make a quick video on my Dodge Challenger actually, because a lot of people want to know if buying the V6 Dodge Challenger is a waste of money. So I thought I'd do a video on what I personally think about it. I mean, I have driven the V8s and they are nice. They got a lot of power to them and they have a really good sound, but is getting a V6 Challenger or is buying a V6 Challenger a waste of money? So a few things to look at that I looked at was, one, when I was buying mine, I was only 18 years old, and this is a 2012 that I bought back in 2011. So I bought it right off the showroom floor and everything. So it was nice. It was brand new. No one ever had absolutely like no miles on it, maybe like 2 at most. I'm just getting into the showroom floor. So what I personally think is I like the V6. I don't think it is a waste of money because, one, you save a lot of money if you just go with the V6 model instead of the V8. I saved, geez, I don't know. I think mine cost around $30,000 at most, maybe. And the V8s, I know we're going for like 48 at the time, around there. So saved around 15,000 on going with the V6 instead of the V8. So personally, for me at that time, it was a financial thing. Not only was it financial, but insurance too for me, which you have to also think about if you're not at the age of 25 or whatever. So the more horsepower, the more insurance you're going to pay out in. So, and if you're going to do a month-to-month payment, your payment's going to clearly be more because the car's more expensive. So for me, I went with the V6 because it was cheaper. I didn't have as much money back then. The insurance would have been cheaper for me if I would have just got the V6. And, I still got the V8 look because the bodies were pretty much identical anyways. The only difference is probably the front lip and the spoiler, which you can always change out. But, yeah, so for me, I went with the V6 because it was cheaper, in the long run. It still looks nice. It still has a lot of power to it. It had a stock, I think, 305 horsepower. And you can always do a few things, to get a little bit more horsepower. What I did was, I did the cold air intake. I did the full exhaust system. I did a throttle body spacer. I also did, what else did I do? Oh, I'm going to get the Diablo tune. So, you can add up to, doing small things, here and there, you can get up to an extra 50 horsepower out of the vehicle without really doing much. So, like I said, I did all that, and I'm probably sitting around like 350 right now. But also one of the things you can do is supercharge it. So say you don't have a whole lot of money from the get-go, you only have this much you can spend and this is what you want to spend, because at the time you don't really have much money. Just get the V6, once you get it paid off, start saving up some money, and you can supercharge it. And once you supercharge it, you can be sitting at around roughly 500 horsepower, depending on what kind of tune you get done to it, what kind of octane you're running out of it. You can get, sorry, there's an ambulance coming. You can get more horsepower out of the V6 than some of the V8s. And that's just by doing like a supercharger, getting it tuned, and doing an exhaust. Like, I've seen V6 Mustangs crush the 392s because the V6 is supercharged. Right there, you're sitting at, like I said, you can push 500 horsepower out of these cars. So personally, to me, I don't think the V6 is a waste of money. Not only do you get the same look, it's cheaper, you also save on gas, which is kind of a big thing too. Like, you save on gas, and then on top of that, like, you, sorry, I lost train of thought again. There came another ambulance. So you get to save on gas, you get the same body look, the vehicle's cheaper, you can always make it more powerful than the V8s by doing a supercharger on it, which the superchargers I think are only like 5,000 for the vehicle, so that's actually really not too bad. So shoot, right there, you say you bought the car for 30,000 and you put 5,000 into it just doing the supercharger, you're sitting at V8 power right there for less than what the V8 cost. So you get plenty of horsepower for it to be stock. What it comes with stock, I think you get plenty of horsepower. The 305 horsepower is plenty, I think, if you're just going to use it as a daily driver and you want a car that looks good and sounds good. Then 305 is plenty of horsepower. And like I said, if you want to beef it up, it's easy to beef up. Personally, for me, it drives really, really, really smooth. It's one of the smoothest driving muscle cars I've ever driven ever. Out of all my cars, actually, that I've owned, it probably drives the smoothest. And I have driven in the snow. It doesn't do horrible, but I would not suggest it to be a winter car at all. Just with it being a rear wheel drive, it is heavier, it is bigger, but still I really wouldn't try to drive it too much during the winter. But like I said, when I was 18, I really didn't have a choice, so I just had this one car. But you know what, it got me to work. I drove half an hour to work every single day there, and then half an hour back. And during snowstorms and stuff, it still worked pretty good. You just have to go slow like you would in any situation with any car. So it did work. And then like I said, on the interior, you can really soup up the interior. I've done mine a little bit. You guys have seen it's been done in green a little bit, and I've done some other stuff to it. So I think the interior, this comes stock with pretty decent interior anyways, especially if you get the SXT Plus. And then on top of it, it's like I said, it's still the same body style as the V8, so you still get the luxury inside, the size. Like, there's plenty of room in the back seat. It's one of the biggest back seats I've ever seen on any of the muscle cars, and I think it's plenty of space. There's plenty of space in the front, and you don't feel crammed. It does feel like you're driving a boat because it is so wide, and the inside feels so big. It does feel like driving a boat, kind of. But you get used to it. It's got really good turning radius, and like I said, it does literally everything that the V8 does, except it just doesn't have the V8 engine. It's a little bit less power, but you save on gas, you save on insurance, and you save on a payment instead of paying the high V8 payment if you wanted. But I mean, if you want the V8, I would recommend, if you want the horsepower, if you want instant horsepower, and you don't want to build it, then do the V8, because then it'll cost $15,000 more out from the get-go, but you'll have what you want right away. And if you're like me and you want to build up your own car, make it custom, do what you want to it, I personally, like I said, they have a really nice 7-year warranty on these cars. So it's a 7-year, 100,000 miles on it. So I only have 50 on this, and I bought it back in 2011. So yeah, I mean, the only thing that's ever gone out on this car had been the alternator, and I got that fixed for free because it was covered. So yeah, if you're gonna buy one, I mean, their 7-year warranty is great. It worked great for me. I never had any problems. If I did have any problems, actually, that's a lie. I also had some airbag sensors go, but they fixed those for free again. And the alternator was the only other thing that went out that they fixed for free. So I personally think that it's a great buy. The V6, I think, is just as good as the V8 for me personally, because like I said, once the 7-year warranty is over or done, I'm gonna put a supercharger in it, and I'll be having, damn near the same amount of horsepower as the V8, and I paid a lot less and was able to make it custom to me. And I feel like if you're gonna do a V8, a lot of people just have the V8s and that's it, but there's not a whole lot of V6s out there that are supercharged, that are custom made, which I think makes it that much more unique and special. That's just what I believe. But sorry for rambling on so much in this video. I just want to do a quick review. Is the V6 a waste of money? Is the V6 Challenger a waste of money? And I would have to say no. 1, because it's a cheaper payment. 2, you get the same exact body as the V8. There's not really a difference in it. 3, you can custom build it. 4, you get a lot more, gas wise, you're going to save a lot of money on the gas instead of having the V8. Like I said, I think I went on a road trip and I got 33 miles per gallon on this car. So that's really good for gas mileage. And also, the other thing is you can build it, you can customize it. You're going to save on insurance money because it's the V6 edition instead of the V8. And there's really no difference besides the engine. If you're a big V8 engine kind of person, then get the V8. But if it doesn't really matter to you, the V6 is not a waste of money because it looks just like the other Challengers, and you pay a lot less, and it drives the same. So personally for me, I think the V6 is well worth the money. I'm happy with my decision. And yeah, so that's just my review on the car and what I think of it. And like I said, it's got great control, handling, smooth ride, lots of space on the inside, lots of trunk space, just like the V8. The only difference is the engine. So personally to me, the V6 is not a waste of money, especially when you can custom build it to eventually be faster than the 392s. So that was just my personal opinion on the Challenger. I hope you liked this video. If you do, give it a like. If you're not following me, subscribe, and then just check up on some of my other videos. I think they're really helpful and you might like them, so check them out. All right, thank you.